Hello, everybody. Welcome to Book It, Vince, the Wrestling Dream Match podcast, where each week we challenge ourselves to book pro wrestling matches that we can only imagine in our dreams, that we wish so badly would happen in real life. And I'm one of your hosts, Martin Bennett, and with me, as always, is Mr. WrestleMania himself, Antony Hall.
Mr. WrestleMania this time.
He's a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I'm not your boy.
I would do a sweet chin music. Yeah. Sweet chin music.
Sweet chin. You know that there's only been so many wrestlers that have sang their own theme song, and Shawn Michaels is one of those people.
That's incredible.
It's hilarious.
That's incredible.
But yeah, welcome to our podcast. Of course, if you enjoy what we do here, please subscribe or follow to the podcast wherever you get it, whatever platform you get it on. Go check it out on YouTube so you can watch the video version, see our pretty faces, watch Anthony do that perfect sweet chin music. Oh yeah,
It's just again. I'm just kicking normally.
It's a super
just
kick
kicking
party
and
over
slapping my leg. Yeah,
it's a super kick party over here. Of course, you can get involved with the podcast because we do answer viewers' questions at the end of the episode, and you can submit those questions either on social media or on our website, UnknownErrorFilms.com/bookitvince. You can check out all the episodes there, where links to where you can listen to it or watch it, and of course submit questions there. Or you can even submit questions to us personally. You can find me online at Barton_Bennett on Twitter or Instagram, and of course you can follow Mr. Antony Hall
at Hall and Jokes on Twitter and Instagram.
And if you want to follow everything that we do as Unknown Error Films, when we stream on Twitch, when we put up any other content on our YouTube channel, just search for Unknown Error Films or follow UE_films on Twitter and Instagram. All right. This week, we got Mr. Antony Hall challenging me.
Yes, Marty.
All
yes, right. I have.
You gave me a little. You said you're really before we started recording. You said really excited.
I am really excited.
So I'm worried.
Because
last time you did something weird.
I am always gonna do something weird, and I think that is the pride and joy of this podcast is I get to do dumb themed feuds, and this one is also dumb and fun and weird. It is Elias Samson, the Drifter, versus Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, baby.
At first, I was very surprised that you used his last name. You said Elias. You didn't just say Elias, which is great.
Yeah,
I love the deep cut. Elias versus Double J, or J-A. Double J. We have
seen some small snippets of what
That's
this
true.
might look like.
When Jeff Jarrett did get inducted in the Hall of Fame, they had
There's a little taste.
a whole feud.
There's gonna be guitars, baby.
There's gonna be a lot of guitars.
There's gonna be singing promos.
J-E-double-F, J-E-double-T, E-double-T, Jeff Jarrett.
Yes.
I don't even know if that was proper spelling, but whatever. Man.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so do you have any stipulations, I guess?
Okay, I think my stipulation is...
It's gonna be... I have an idea. It's gonna be bad.
This pay-per-view, or this feud has to culminate at the Great American Bash.
Okay.
That is my only stipulation.
Can I tell you what I thought you were gonna say?
Yeah, sure.
It's gotta culminate in a guitar on a pole match.
It can. We could have a guitar on the pole match at the Great American Bash.
Okay.
Think about it, Marty.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would probably want to make this feud not be Jeff Jarrett when he was in his prime. I want it to be him now.
Oh, you want it to be old Jeff Jarrett. You want it to be crusty Jeff.
But the thing is, I still think he could do some cool stuff. You know, I think it would be, say, he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Let's go from there. He got inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Wow, we're going from the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, sure.
At the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah.
Here we go. At the Hall of Fame ceremony, he comes out and he's going to perform his song or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the middle of it, you hear another strum of a guitar and you start hearing boo. And it's Elias. And he comes out from the back and he's just like, what? Listen, old man, you can celebrate all you want, but no one's gonna be. I'm the one who plays the music in this company. I'm the one who's the true star.
Yeah.
And you think you can come in here and show all these people? No one here wants to listen to your crap.
Yeah.
Just say what you want, thank who you want, and get the hell out of here. And
because nobody cares about you, Double J, because WWE means
walk with Elias.
What? And I said WWE means walk with Elias. And Jeff Jarrett is incensed. He cannot take it.
And then like who inducted him?
Was it what's his face? Yeah, what's his face?
Hall of Fame. I just want to know who inducted him because I want to put him into this thing. Oh no. Okay, classes of the thing. Jeff Jarrett. Where are you? Jeff Jarrett. Where the heck is he? Oh my God, I can't find him anywhere.
You can't find it.
Was it longer ago than I thought?
It was in.
Oh no, there we go. Okay, Road Dogg. Jesus Christ, that took me forever to find.
Road Dogg. Okay.
So Elias comes up on stage, just so we can cut through all that bullshit. Yeah. Elias comes out of stage. Road Dogg comes up and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey man, what's that?" And then Jeff Jarrett's like, "No, don't worry, it's okay. Just, he's like, say what you want to say, Elias." He's like, "Well, I appreciate that. That's the smartest thing that you've said all night."
Yeah.
And then he like turns his back. He's like, "Everyone here knows." And then that's when Jeff grabs a guitar and hits Elias in the back, and they start brawling.
Oh yeah.
and that's the end of his speech, and then it brawls out, and everybody in the crowd's like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
And that steps up the feud.
Yeah. So okay, if I'm getting this straight, so
and then
Jeff Jarrett,
then at WrestleMania, they have a segment where they show it, so people who didn't see Hall of Fame can see that and everything.
Yeah, they see that Jeff Jarrett gives his speech, it's beautiful or whatever, and he's like about to play his song to end the speech, and then Elias comes out, and Road Dogg's like, "Hey man, what's so not?" And then he cuts that promo. He's like, "Oh, you're stupid. WWE means walk with Elias. Who are you even, bro?"
Yeah. And then they brawl.
Yeah, and then Jeff Jarrett goes like, "Hey, you know what? You're right. WWE right now, it does mean walk with Elias. So I'll give you the stage. You can perform. You can say what you need to say." And he's like, "Finally, somebody who listens to me." And yeah, you're right. He grabs that guitar.
Yep. Yeah.
Before Elias. So Elias is like, "Thank you." And then Jeff Jarrett grabs Elias's guitar, just fucking
Yeah, and they brawl, and that closes out there. And anyways, so at WrestleMania they show it. Could be an interview, backstage interview or something with Jeff Jarrett, just kind of giving an update. He's like, I'm okay, not bad, but I definitely will have more to say about this on Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't do anything. It just like kind of we're just reminding people that it happened.
And then maybe later in the evening they try to talk to Elias or something like that. I don't know. But just like planting seeds.
Yes.
So then on Raw, Monday after Raw, then it's where I think Elias needs to cut like a super heel promo.
So he's doing his song in the center of the ring.
And he's like, and the song is just a bit, and he's like, maybe he's bandaged up or something like that. Or maybe he's just, he's like, and the song is about how he can't believe that someone would attack him. It's all about like, and the fact that Jeff Jarrett sucks just as much as the city that they're in.
Yeah.
I think they
just
were in
as
New
much
York.
as their favorite
I think
band.
they were in New York at that time. So
yeah, and he's like talking about, he's like blah 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 blah, like the city stinks, and the famous band or artist from here is also crappy, but not as crappy as Jeff Jarrett. And everyone's like, whoa,
boo.
Boo.
And so he goes through that, and then eventually I think then Road Dogg comes out because he was in the scrap.
Okay.
And he comes out and he's just like, Elias, I think you're great. I think you're an amazing performer. I think you're an amazing wrestler. You're a great superstar. But one thing that I won't stand for is making fun of a legend like Jeff Jarrett, who did so much for our industry. And he's done it all. He's seen it all. And you can't even imagine reaching that level of stardom.
Yeah, of success. Yeah.
And then that's where then Elias attacks Road Dogg, and Jeff Jarrett's music hits, and he runs down the ramp.
But I think it's too late.
It's too late.
I think the beatdown's already done.
Elias chicken shit's out of there.
Yeah, Elias has already performed his finisher move, which is
the drift away.
The drift? Oh, the swinging neck breaker? Yeah.
Drift away, I believe it is.
Yeah. I think you're right.
And so, he comes. Jeff Jarrett comes out of the ring, holds Road Dogg, and he just looking. And he's like, "You." This is gonna be very sports entertaining. He's like,
"Oh yeah. You, yeah, yes."
And then I guess there's like a backstage segment of like, at the medical area or the trainers area, and it's Kayla, and she's like, Jeff Jarrett comes out of the room. He's like, Jeff Jarrett, any update on Road Dogg's condition?
Yeah, Road Dogg's condition.
I love that he's still just called Road Dogg, but his wrestler name technically is Jesse James, but everyone just calls him Road Dogg.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine, but Elias can't get away with this. There's some people. I've been through a lot. I've been through the ringer, and I've met a lot of people in my life just like Elias, who they won't understand what's coming to them until it's too late.
Yeah.
So excuse me, I'm gonna be with my friend.
Yeah, excuse me.
And so then,
my friend.
So then the next week, and this is just the build. Is basically, the next week what it comes down to is that then Jeff comes out and cuts a promo, and he's like, he wants to call out Elias, and it's this whole thing of like, Elias doesn't come out, but like someone else does, like another heel, like a mid-card heel or something like that. Let's make it like Shelton Benjamin or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And he comes out and, has a few words for him. And it's like, and he says, you want to face someone like Elias, but I don't think you could face anyone, old man, something like that. Or maybe it's like a younger heel, actually, because that would make more sense instead of, because Sheldon's veteran.
Also old.
Yeah. I realize that now. Maybe it'd be like, it could be Baron Corbin, easiest heel heat that you can get.
Sure. Okay, Baron Corbin. Let's beat him up. Let's beat Baron Corbin up. Exactly. So Baron Corbin comes out. Yeah, and he's like, old timer. You think you could just waltz back into SmackDown and take over, or just act like you own the place? Yeah,
it's like you haven't been here for the past 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, you went on and failed. Like, and you think you could come here, and I've been working.
Yeah. And then he like cuts like this really like low blow promo where he's like, the only success you found in the last 10 years is at the bottom of a bottle. And then Jeff Jarrett's like, you
you're like, and he's like, I'll show you what this old timer still has in him. Bring out a ref. And they have a match.
Yeah. And I think Jeff Jarrett wins. He hits the stroke, which is essentially a skull crushing finale, but Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
So he hits the stroke, pins Corbin 1, 2, 3, and then, as we always do, I think you see something on the video screen.
We can't keep coming back to, and then there's something.
But this is important, I think, because even though we love our vignettes and stuff, it cuts to a backstage segment where you see Elias is trashing Jeff Jarrett's change room, and he steals his guitar. He steals his guitar.
To audio listeners out there, I have my head in my hands. How ridiculous this is.
He steals his fucking guitar, man. He steals it.
I think that needs to be saved for a little bit later.
Okay. So let's just say he's
I think Jeff needs to have some kind of like, he's still got it. He's still got it.
Sure. Okay. We'll save our patented video segment for later in this feud. But yeah, like you said, Baron Corbin is talking trash to Double J, and Double J beats him with the stroke, and it's there. He's still got it. He's still Jeff Jarrett.
Double J. And so then I think then the weeks coming, it's kind of like a back and forth thing of, I don't think that this would be a long rivalry. I think it would only be like maybe like a 2-month thing.
Yeah,
like
because
leading up to the next pay-per-view, or like
I said, Great American Bash. That's gotta be it.
Yeah. So I think then the trajectory of this rivalry would essentially be like, maybe because of old timers, you got to have like a tag team match so they don't have to wrestle the entire time.
Right.
So maybe that would be like a match at like Backlash or something.
Okay.
Or whatever happens after WrestleMania, what have you. It could be anything. But it'd be something like that. And then I think what would be great, or maybe it is like a, maybe it is no, I kind of really want it to culminate in a guitar and a pole match.
But there should be.
Oh no!
Okay, you got it. Okay.
I got it.
I think something that they should do is like, as they're building up the feud, I think Elias should challenge Jeff Jarrett to like a playoff, so they're both in the ring at the same time.
That is a very Monday Night Raw segment.
So they're like playing, and it's so clear that like Jeff Jarrett is better at the guitar than Elias.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett just like, he takes the stage, he gets up, he's like doing a solo, and then Elias just gets so pissed that he like just grabs the guitar and just hits, it just smashes.
Yeah.
his own guitar on Jeff Jarrett, just like
I think the way that this has to play out, that's a great segment that can happen. I think this is the way you've got to book it. Backlash, you have a tag team match. It's Jeff Jarrett with someone of his choice or whatever. Maybe someone steps up, babyface steps up and is like, "No, I'm here to defend Jeff, and I'll tag with you," and then it'll be like Elias and Baron Corbin against Jeff Jarrett. And someone, right?
Let's say it's Dolph Ziggler. I bet Dolph Ziggler would be involved with Jeff Jarrett somehow. A face Dolph Ziggler would protect Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you have that. And then the next pay-per-view, you think it's going to culminate in a guitar and a pole match, and it's at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But whoever wins that, or whoever loses that, is incensed. Maybe Jeff does win, right? And Elias is incensed. And he's like, "No, I can't. You are nothing. You got lucky. You know, all this stuff. I want to end your career. I want you to put your career on the line.
Yeah.
Retire forever. Never show your face in WWE ever again. After the Great American Bash in a Symphony of Destruction match."
Oh, yeah.
Where it's all the musical instruments.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
I like that. It's like you have two dudes who are just, their gimmick is that they're a musician.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you gotta make everything about them being music.
Yeah, so like the build towards that would be, their playoff at Monday Night Raw, where they are playing guitar, and Jeff Jarrett wins, and Elias gets pissed and beats up Jeff Jarrett. I think you have some run-ins where like Elias is wrestling just like somebody random, and Jeff's music just plays, and he gets distracted, and whomever is wrestling Elias wins.
Yeah.
You have Baron Corbin and Elias like vandalizing Jeff's like car or something. Yeah. We got it. Somebody's got to steal somebody's guitar.
I think that's a great setup for the Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, he realizes, oh, that's great. Yeah, it's like it's a retirement match if Jeff Jarrett loses, but if Jeff Jarrett wins, he gets his guitar back.
Well, it's funny. Well, it's weird because the match culminates in you smashing a guitar on your opponent.
But it's not Jeff's guitar.
Right, exactly.
The special guitar. We have to build up like a special guitar. Like there was I
got it.
You got it?
Special guest comes to Monday Night Raw, and it's country music legend Garth Brooks.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
And he comes to Monday Night Raw. Maybe it's in I think he's from Texas.
I don't know. I don't know. But I like this because
it is Garth Brooks from.
Because
it's in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, a beautiful
hometown hero, Garth Brooks.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Comes in and him and
Jeff Jarrett.
Him and Jeff Jarrett are in the ring, and Garth is like, "I want to congratulate you, Jeff, for coming in, returning, getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Continuing to be a legend in this industry, and I want to congratulate you by giving you a one-of-a-kind custom guitar."
Yeah. Yes.
And then they go to reveal it. It's not there.
Oh,
it's not there. And then on the video screen is Elias, and he's like, he's on the video screen. He has it.
He's like tuning it, and he's like about to like strum it, and he like just looks right at the camera, and he's like, and then Jeff Jarrett's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell? That's for me. Those are my achievements.
Yeah, and him and Garth Brooks are just mad.
Brooks. Oh, yeah. There. He's just like, oh god.
And then for the following weeks, Elias just keeps evading him, And
it's a cat and mouse game. Yes, I like it.
Of just
I love
this
it.
pride's guitar.
Yeah. And then it's like, at Great American Bash, I want you to put that guitar on the line.
Well,
and
no,
then,
at Extreme Rules, I want to put.
Right.
Extreme Rules
right.
In a guitar on a pole match.
Yeah. Extreme Rules. You put that guitar on the line. Guitar on a pole match. You're right, because we do have to have. I think Jeff Jarrett wins that match. Yeah.
Yeah, and Elias says, "All right, I'll put the guitar on the line if you put your career on the line."
And okay. So that's at Extreme Rules.
Yes.
Okay. Or do we save the career on the line?
Well, I think I think that you can keep milking that, because that was essentially the whole Ric Flair, like his last like run in WWE.
Right.
Was he just kept challenging people, being like, if you beat me, I'll retire. If you beat me, I'll retire. And he kept winning and winning and winning and winning until finally it was Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. So it could be like, yeah, I'll put my career on the line. Jeff Jarrett wins.
Yeah.
And then Elias is incensed the next week, and he's like, I'm not going to wrestle until Jeff Jarrett is out of the WWE for good.
Yeah.
And then that's where it's like, I want you to put your whole career on the line. If I beat you, you can never come back to WWE.
Yeah. And then so Jeff.
And then it becomes some shtick of like, I don't know, they're at a recording studio or something, and they attack each other, and they're just hitting each other with stuff, and then it's clear like at Great American Bash, it's going to be a Symphony of Destruction match.
Yeah,
anything goes.
I love that because Elias is recording his first album, and he's in the studio, and he's like, ragging on the recording engineer. He's like, "Come on!" He's like, "Who are you? Make me sound. What are you doing? Make me sound better." I'm
just thinking of dumb lines like, where he's just like, "Oh, come on, we got to make this sound better than that. This sounds like Jeff Jarrett."
Yeah, exactly. He's like, and he's like, yeah, this is just like a random segment.
Or depending on the place that it's that episode of Monday Night Raw is in, he just makes an offhanded comment like, this he's like, this sounds, what are you kidding me? This sounds worse than,
insert person,
insert famous musician,
Yeah.
And everyone's like, boo. Yeah.
But it's like, but at least it's not as bad as Jeff Jarrett. Yeah. And then Elias is just like gets mad and he leaves.
He's like, what are you doing in there? Or like the music cuts off before he like starts. He's like, what are you doing in there? Who's the engineer in there? And then he goes in there, and it's Jeff Jarrett, and he attacks him.
And they punch each other, and then they get into the recording studio, and they're throwing each other into the instruments. Like, I think the best way to end that segment is like, we have to maybe make Elias look strong. So Elias like puts Jeff Jarrett's head through a bass drum. Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then on a special episode of Miz TV.
You could all, anywhere in there you could have it. Another thing that I thought of, which would be hilarious, is having when they would do like the say for the greatest wrestling match ever, the one between Orton and Edge, where they would interview legends who would say who they thought would win. What if they did that where they interviewed like famous musicians, and it became this whole gag of the fact that they had great things to say about Jeff Jarrett, but then when they said, and what do you think about Elias? They all went, who's Elias?
Yeah. Who is Elias? Yeah.
Who's Elias?
What? Yeah.
You got you got all these super famous musicians.
Yeah, you have like just Parton, all these country. Yeah, Dolly Parton. Yeah,
you got Garth
Kenny
Brooks.
Chesney, Tim McGraw, like all the classics.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And they're all just hyping up Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, they're like, Double J, what a great guy. And they're talking
and then
about
there's
parties
like, and what do you think about Elias? Who's Elias?
Who's Elias? Yeah.
And Elias comes out. He's like, this is a mockery. This is an outrage. Of course, none of them would know me because I'm way above.
Yeah. I'm a superstar. They're has-beens.
Yeah.
I am a right now.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then he cuts his promos and stuff. Yeah. And then we have
All right, so a segment of Miz TV.
Miz TV.
Is this before or after Extreme Rules?
This is after Extreme Rules.
Okay, so this is leading up to okay.
This is the setup for the Great American Bash.
And it's gonna be a bash because because and that could be the whole thing of like bash, like alluding to like musical terminology and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is great. This is a fantastic program. If WWE Creative is listening right now, boy, do we have something for you.
Sweet Jesus. Do we have something for you?
Boy, do we have something for you.
So, okay, segment of Miz TV. Who's on it? Is it Elias or is this Jeff Jarrett on?
I think Jeff Jarrett is on.
Okay. So Miz, of course, he has to do his thing where he's like the great Jeff Jarrett, one of the best intercontinental champions of all time.
Yeah.
And he has to, of course, then rub in his face that he is one of the best he's an even better intercontinental champion of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what would be hilarious? Is if then you had a one-off match of The Miz and Elias versus Jeff Jarrett and Honky Tonk Man. You have the greatest intercontinental champions of all time and Elias. Yeah. Match. And it's like a 5-minute match. It's like nothing. It's just banter, basically.
I think it's like it's got to be like the Miz is during Miz TV, he's like, I perfected your finishing move because it's same thing. It's the same move.
It's
Marty.
the same move.
The same move.
It's the exact same.
and he's like, oh yeah, all right. He's like, I was like, let's
how many intercontinental championships have you won?
Yeah.
Well, I've won 3 times as many.
Yeah, and so in that match, that tag match, Honky Tonk Man.
But he's like, but the whole setup is like, Elias is it's that whole like Miz undermining his guests thing.
Yeah.
Whenever they have faces on, they always undermine them. They always allude to something else, and then and Miz can be like, well, maybe we should, maybe you and I should go against each other to see who is truly the greatest intercontinental champion of all time.
Right.
And then Jeff's like, I have someone who would like to, I think I know someone who would like to, maybe they're alluding to like a special guest appearance that night.
Right. Yeah.
And then Jeff's like, I know someone who'd like to say something about that. Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah. Honky Tonk Man comes out. Oh my God. And I think instantly, so then this match is like, you think it's going to be Honky Tonk Man, Jeff Jarrett versus The Miz. And of course, Elias has to insert himself.
Elias like comes out of nowhere and attacks Jeff. And then it's a brawl or whatever. And then they pull apart and then it's going to be a match. And it's a quick like this. Maybe there's disqualification in there or whatever. That way then Jeff and Honky Tonk Man can stand tall. And like maybe it's like a special anniversary thing for Honky Tonk Man, whatever. I don't know.
Right. I think so I think how that match works is like they're both like trying to one up each other's finishers because they both use the figure 4 leg lock and they both use the stroke / the skull crushing finale.
Right.
So I think the way the match ends maybe is like Jeff Jarrett has The Miz in a figure 4. Elias is like incapacitated, and then Honky Tonk Man hits The Miz with a guitar.
Ref got knocked out at some point.
Yeah, the ref is in the corner, just sleeping. And yeah, Honky Tonk Man hits the Miz with a guitar. The guitar casualty count for this episode is astronomical.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've lost at least 15 good guitars.
It's gonna get bigger. It's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, and then so that match is over, and Jeff Jarrett, Honky Tonk Man, stand tall.
Yeah, and then that can definitely lead into the next week of, they're maybe it's like they do a week of like being like, or maybe throughout this whole program they keep alluding to like that Elias is going to be recording an album.
Yeah.
And then like they do an episode where Elias is like, well, next week I'm recording my album, so I can finally forget about all this Jeff Jarrett business, blah blah.
Right. Yeah.
And show the world how truly I am a master entertainer than Jeff Jarrett. And so that the episode of Raw is it keeps cutting back to Elias in the studio, and you got all those little moments and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe in that time maybe in that episode somewhere they're like, has anyone seen Jeff tonight? And they're like, no. And people are like, no, I haven't seen him. Blah, 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 blah. And then finally it comes to that point of like, what is this engineer? What is he like? What are you doing? Are you stupid?
Yeah.
Are you as stupid as Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah. It's like, you're supposed to make me sound better. You're supposed to make me sound better than insert hometown artist.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like crap like them. And I also don't want to sound like crap like Jeff Jarrett. Or it's like, yeah. I think it's like, I don't want to sound like crap like insert hometown artist. Mm-hmm. At least it won't be as bad as Jeff Jarrett. Door swings open. Bye. They start brawling.
Good brawl. Yeah. Guitar smash again.
Smash. Yeah.
You gotta then have a moment of like trying to choke out with a microphone cord.
Oh yeah.
Cymbal hit.
Yep.
And then throw into
the drum.
Into the drum. Yeah.
Yeah. And then following, so Elias wins, right? So then the following show, he's cutting his promo and he's like, I'm sick of all of this.
My album's now been on on hold.
It's postponed indefinitely. I need to settle this once and for all. Jeff Jarrett, at the Great American Bash, I want you to put your career on the line.
Yeah.
And then, and then Jeff Jarrett's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna shut you up once and for all, you punk.
And it could be a thing where it's like Jeff is like, oh, well, it's gonna be a wrestling match. Of course I'm gonna win. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then that's where Elias reveals like, it's gonna be a Symphony of Destruction match. Anything goes. And then and then like maybe the go home show is like, some legends are like, Jeff, you don't have to do this. Like,
yeah.
You've already proved your point against him. Like,
yeah.
You really don't need to do this. You don't need to, whatever. And it's just like, no, I got to. I have to put my pride on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta, show what this old timer's got and prove that I don't back down.
Yeah. And then maybe Jeff Jarrett's like, he's like, if I'm putting my career on the line, and if I win, I don't know what will happen to Elias. So we have to like figure out maybe something for Elias as well. Like if Jeff Jarrett wins, like what happens to Elias? Oh, maybe if Jeff Jarrett wins, Elias is never allowed to record an album. He's never allowed to record music.
Deal.
Yeah, he's not allowed
to
get a record deal.
Your record deal is done for forever.
He loses his record deal, sure, with WWE music. He puts his record deal on the line, and Jeff Jarrett puts his career on the line. And we're going to Great American Bash. It's going to be a symphony of destruction.
Nice.
So now we're here.
Yep.
We're at the Great American Bash. And the match is happening.
It's definitely got to be like, I think the set would kind of look like a bandstand, you know, classic, like Americana, you know, you have all the red, white, and blue, obviously, but it kind of looks like American Bandstand sort of thing, where you have like the full band and everything. Maybe they have a certain band play there that night and do like a one-off live performance. But then they set up all of like the classic instruments around the ring. You got drums. You got a giant stand-up bass, obviously.
A trombone.
Yep, trombone, tuba.
Yeah.
You also gotta have, you know, and there will be guitars everywhere.
Yeah, guitars everywhere. Several guitars, at least 4 guitars.
Yeah. And so it ends up just being like a big spot fest. Obviously.
Yes. Okay. Let's call out some spots right now. Okay. Here's one. Jeff Jarrett is beating up on Elias, gets him onto the ground. He opens up his legs, grabs a trombone, and hits him in the crotch 3 times. He goes, bomb, bomb, bomb.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Okay,
I never even thought about that. It's so funny.
He just opens his leg and he just goes, bah, bah, bah.
Or he ties him. Yeah, he ties him up somehow. Boom, boom. Oh my god. I think there would be a great moment of like Elias like putting the tuba on top of, or maybe it's like he leans, like he hits Jeff Jarrett with something. Yeah. Maybe like bashes his head onto the apron, and then grabs the tuba, like sits him down against like either the guardrail or something.
Yeah.
Sits him down, puts the tuba over his head.
Oh my god.
And then takes the guitar and smashes it into the tuba. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, here's a big spot. Here's one of the bigger spots of the match. So, Elias has the advantage here. He has Jeff Jarrett wounded on the ground, and Jeff Jarrett grabs this bag. This is a small bag. And you're like, what's in the bag? And he pours out guitar picks onto the ground. Fucking a pile of guitar picks.
Okay.
As if they're like thumbtacks.
Right.
He pours all these guitar picks out. And then he goes up to the top rope and he suplexes Jeff Jarrett onto all the guitar picks. And
guitar picks are pretty flat. What would be interesting is if it was a weapon that then had guitar picks sticking out of it. Like it was like kind of like, you know, a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, but instead it's something that has guitar picks sticking out of it, and it just, you know,
how about this?
With it, maybe.
Let's do both of those. Elias goes underneath the ring, grabs a 2x4 that has guitar picks rigged standing up on them, and he puts it in the center of the ring. And then he grabs his little bag and pours more guitar picks.
That's such a weird spot. I love it, though.
And then he sets up Jeff Jarrett on the top rope, suplexes him onto the 2x4 with guitar picks, and he's just got guitar picks like all over. It's stuck to his back, and he's like,
there's got to be a big spot where they like brawl into the audience or something, and maybe like they go over to where like the sound systems are, and maybe like throw each other into the speakers, or like then like the speakers fall over or something like that. But then you got to be up on the bandstand area, and that's where I think would be a great moment of like taking one of the drums and like smashing it over top of
them.
And then like they're on top of like the platform or something, and then that's where you could have either one of them tackle the other, or like drop kick, or knock the other one out and they fall into like a pile of like, you know, like into a platform that gives way but has all the cables and wires on it and everything.
Yeah. Let's call the final spot. So I think because Jeff Jarrett is old, he's a legend, that we have to put over Elias here. Right. And I think Jeff Jarrett would want to put over Elias anyway, if this was like outside of kayfabe. So I think Elias is gonna. We gotta just use all the guitars at once. I think he makes a pile of guitars, upright bass, music stands.
Well, the spot with the upright bass would definitely just be like, I think it would be more of like a because it's so big, it would be a thing of like either being dropped onto it or just like taking it and smashing it. You know, or
you're right
it or something like that. It's just so big and awkward. But the guitars are a great finish of just like.
I think you have to, you like put a guitar underneath Jeff Jarrett or underneath.
Really quickly before the finish.
Yes.
Another great spot would be, either Elias, like it could be interchangeable. Yeah. Probably would get more heat if it was Elias doing it, but like takes audio cables like XLRs and ties Jeff Jarrett up to like the ring post and then just starts whacking him or whipping him. And like ties his hands up so he can't move or something and just starts.
And beats him up with like other small instruments like maracas, a triangle, like takes a flute and just like hits
uses
him with
it like a lead pipe.
lead pipe flute. Okay, the finish has to be with guitars. I think there's just like a pile like guitars crossed in the center of the ring.
What if it was a gimmick like headshot?
Oh,
maybe it's they both grab guitars and they both go to swing at it. Elias manages to duck and then comes back and just with a giant head swing, boom, right on him, and it just knocks him out. But then because he's a savage, he just picks him up and just hits the drift away on him and pins 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it just has to look. It just has to look dirty and deadly.
Yeah.
Just to give him that real heat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
What a feud. What a feud.
That was an adventure. So then Elias wins. He stands tall. And I think he goes on to challenge maybe somebody for a title. Maybe the Intercontinental or something.
I just love the idea that then it's like he gets his record. He gets his.
Oh yeah, then he gets his record.
He gets his record deal.
Yeah, he gets his record deal.
And on it, there has to be a song saying that just says like, "I beat Jeff Jarrett." You know.
Exactly.
And then of course he leaves. Medics come out or people come out, help Jeff get up. Big thank you, Jarrett.
Yeah.
You know, you got the thank yous. It's a big celebration, fireworks.
Yeah.
Everything.
And he's just like, and the lights go, the pyros just.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's Jeff Jarrett's send off.
Yeah.
That feud, the biggest musical instrument casualty count in the WWE.
What a ridiculous. That's so good. I love it.
We've done it.
Well, you know what? Book it, Vince.
Book it, Vince.
Do it.
WWE Creative. Give us a call.
Let's get Elias back in because we don't know where he's been for the past couple months.
Give him something to do.
Give him something to do. Bring Jeff Jarrett. Boom.
Jeff needs work, probably. Let's go.
Awesome. Yes. Well, if you enjoyed us booking together Jeff Jarrett versus Elias, let us know how you would have seen the feud if they would have had certain matches. Just give us all the fun details of this ridiculous rivalry. Who you think would win in an actual match. And yeah, you can let us know on social media, of course, where you can follow me and Antony and UnknownError Films. But before we get to wrapping up the episode, of course, like always, we got viewer questions.
Excellent.
So, this week's viewer questions. The first one comes from one of our community members on our Discord, but also on Twitch. She's a mod over there, Helena FJ. She asks the question, in your opinion, what is the greatest rivalry of all time? There's been a lot of amazing, like, really good rivalries over the years, even just short ones. But honestly, like, probably one of my favorite rivalries. Oh boy, that's tough. I mean, it's sad because it didn't really get to go the way that it should have. But Ciampa versus Gargano.
Oh, I was gonna say that. That's probably like my most favorite recent one.
It's really sad that like they didn't get to do it the way that they wanted to, you know, because Ciampa got injured and like it would have been at WrestleMania weekend and that would have been the end of it. But
yeah,
that was such a good build over a number of years. And you can look back on and be like, oh yeah, there's this moment, this moment, this moment.
Yeah, and it was amazing. There's so many amazing matches in that feud. Like at TakeOver in New Orleans, like holy, what a match.
Like even the Last Man Standing match where like Johnny just manages to heat out a win like by making it so that Ciampa can't even just stand up. So,
yeah.
Such a deep-seated rivalry between the two of them, and they knew how to work together. They know how to work together perfectly, which is great.
Yeah.
Another small one, Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. I love it. I wish it would have gone a different way, but like that turn of at War Games, was
that
like,
was cool.
Oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And it didn't turn out the way I was hoping, but it was still. Like, best friends turn rivals is always a good heated, like, reason to start a rivalry. And it's great because it gets really personal and interesting and yeah.
Yeah, pony back off of that. I love Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Ooh,
oh yeah.
And actually that was so good. Holy shit, that was so good.
That turn.
But
yeah. That turn is unforgettable.
Yeah, and one of the fun ones that I really like is Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, the pissing off the boss, like
yeah, that's great.
There are so many amazing. I guess one of my favorite old school rivalries. I'd say like Brock versus Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
like
that's a good
Eddie
one.
finally winning, like. Through all that, even though like Stone Cold was involved a little bit and stuff, but like just that underdog story of Eddie trying to finally win, the coveted championship of the company and like all the things he had to go through to get to that point, and how it was a true like David versus Goliath thing.
Yeah,
love it.
That's awesome.
Such an emotional end to that wrap up of finally winning.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Hope that answered your question, Helena. And our second question today comes from Emmanuel, otherwise known on Twitter as Corrupt Signal.
Okay.
Asks, who do you think would win in a match between the Boogeyman and Doink the Clown?
Yeah, baby.
And I didn't.
Wow.
I was gonna say. I thought like, oh well, this is a question about like this person, this person, and it would be fun to do it as like an episode, but at the same time, I think it's too weird and too
nothing's
wacky.
too weird.
I know to you nothing's too weird, but I mean like to build like these are two people who never like talked, didn't give promos, just showed up and were menaces and stuff like that. But if it's like, if these two actually had a wrestling match, who would really win?
Boogeyman would definitely win.
I think so too.
100% he would win.
When I saw that question, I looked up both of their finishing moves because I couldn't remember it. And so Boogeyman's finishing move was a double choke slam power bomb move where like he picked up his opponent like with both hands to choke slam them, but then did a sit down power bomb.
Yeah. I remember that.
While Doink's move was a jump off the top rope into a sit. It wasn't a splash. He jumped and then sat on their chest, and it was called the whoopee cushion.
Jesus Christ.
But
yeah,
I think
Boogeyman would definitely win. Like, he would probably like put like earthworms around the ring, and Doink would be like, ah, and then he would just hit him with that crazy thing, or he'd hit him with the clock.
Yeah, true. The clock too. Boogeyman was such a ridiculous character, but was great because it was just
agreed.
How do we make these people scared? And you know, his rivalry against King Booker was awesome. Yes, I love that. But yeah, it's like if it was an agile wrestling match between Doink and Boogeyman, I think Boogeyman would win.
Remember when Boogeyman ate the mole off of Jillian Hall's face?
Yes. Yeah.
What a time. What a time in wrestling.
Yeah. Though that's the thing, is there's some character gimmicks that are just ridiculous but awesome. Yeah. It's like, this is weird, but I'm okay with it because it's just fun to watch. It's that sort of like car crash of like, this is ridiculous and doesn't make any sense, but I love watching it.
That's wrestling, baby.
That's wrestling, baby. Well, there we go. All right, cool. Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Before we head out, we have been starting this tradition of giving a recommendation of a match of the week that we would like you to go watch. This week, it's my turn to recommend a match. And the match I'm going to recommend is kind of fitting for the time that this episode will be coming out, is that this year marks the 20th anniversary of the first ever TLC match.
Oh!
SummerSlam 2000 was when it was Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys. Mm-hmm. And that was the first ever TLC match. It's an amazing match. So Great many match. Crazy moments. Edge spearing. I think that's the one. Yeah. Edge spearing Jeff Hardy. Them pushing Edge and Christian pushing Bubba Ray off of the ladder into the double stack tables. Mm-hmm. Edge spears Lita at one point. There's just some I think this is also the same match where what was it? Jeff does a swanton off of the entrance onto one of the Dudleys. Just nuts match. Crazy. And it's crazy that it happened 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But so I recommend people go watch that, because I think it's on YouTube as well. Like, I think WWE posted the whole match. Yeah.
But
yeah, go watch that match.
Hell yeah.
So thank you again for listening. Thank you for watching. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you join us next time. Please subscribe and follow the podcast on whatever service that you use. Check it out on YouTube as well. Or, of course, you can go to UnknownErrorFilms.com/bookitvince. Check out all the episodes there. Leave us a question that can be featured on the next episode. And, yeah, you can follow us as an entity, as Unknown Error Films, everywhere online. Just search for Unknown Error Films, or follow on Twitter and Instagram at UE_films. You can follow me online at Barton_Minute, and Anthony Hall
at Hall and Jokes on Instagram and Twitter.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for listening. We'll hopefully catch you next time. Go watch some wrestling. You take care. Be safe out there. And we'll see you. Did you do a sweet did kiss?
Too sweet.
Too sweet. All right. Bye.
Bye.